Thank you for joining us on this live stream. Heather will be with us shortly. She's just putting some eyelashes on, so she won't be very long. In case you're wondering, we're going to do a few occasional things on this, nifty new things on this live stream. I'm going to mix it up a bit, move around a bit. Just so you know, our live streams can be a bit tipsy, sometimes slightly rowdy, hopefully lots of fun. There's sometimes some PG-13 or rated R language involved. You know, that happens on occasion. So, yeah, it can get fun. It can get adult. We don't do polished and professional, but I have managed to work out all the bugs that usually plague every time I try to do one of these live streams. So I think everything's working all right. We appear to have 3 people watching us at the moment. Hello, people. If you're just joining us, Heather will be with us shortly. She's just putting some eyelashes on. Let's have a look at our comments here. What hair colors make you feel most confident? That's a standard one that Heather puts in there. Feel free to answer in the comments and we'll display them as you come in. Hi, Barbara. Hola, friend, she says. Hola, Barbara. Thanks for joining us, my dear. And we'll get into this various stuff shortly, but while we're killing some time, let's talk about some summer break stories, shall we? The reason we're doing a live stream this week as opposed to the previous week is, well, basically summer breaks. I had my birthday last month and 49, and we took July 4th off because it was the end of quarter for Heather's main job, and it was crunch time and absolutely brutal, and she needed time off. So we spent a lot of time going up to beautiful Helen, Georgia. Sorry. We went up to Helen, Georgia. So, yeah, I know. She caught my all the way from downstairs. Georgia! Yes, Helen, Georgia. We went to Helen, Georgia, which is, if you've not been there, it's a pretty little town set up in beautiful mountain scenery. It started off as a gold rush town. Then it became a lumber town. And then when they tapped out the lumber, they said, well, what are we going to do now? So sometime back in the 60s, they turned it into a fake alpine German tourist trap village with gingerbread houses and German food and German beer and all sorts of other things. They've got zip lining, river tubing, hillbilly axe throwing, all sorts of good stuff. And of course, lots of good German food and beer. So we partook of that for my birthday. We partook of that over July 4th. Heather and John did some river tubing while I availed myself of more German food and German beer. And on the whole, it was pretty good. It was a really welcome respite for all the work we'd been doing up till that point, because it just crunch time at the end of quarter is no joke, and we just had to get that out of our system. So that's basically what we were doing. I know Heather would probably like to come in with some more stuff when she arrives. But what about you folks? Have you been doing anything interesting over the summer? Did you have a good 4th of July? Did you set off fireworks? Did you have barbecues? Did you get absolutely slaughtered and sing loud songs on the beach? Anything like that? Let us know. Share in the comments below. We'll share it with everyone and have a good laugh over fond memories, shall we? In the meantime, let's have a look at some more comments here. We've got Bettina saying, "Hola, y'all from North Cal, where it's nice and cool." Oh, you lucky! Our upstairs air conditioner is still not working, so I'm trying not to melt at the moment. So I envy you, Tina. Cheryl says, "Hi, everybody." Hi, Cheryl. What do you got here? Yeah. Beauty from within. Hello. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Oh, that's a very good picture of you there. That's excellent. Kristen Schaefer says, "Hi, Nigel, Heather, and all. I turned 60 in June. Well, congratulations." Hey, you don't look it. not in the slightest from that picture. I went to see Tears for Fears at Bethel Woods last Wednesday. I bought myself some Maker's Mark, good stuff. Tanqueray and some Jim Beam Devil's Cut. You sound like you had a good time there, Kristen. Threw my back out. Oh, dang. I feel for you. Oh, it's you got to see this. It's just, oh, I feel so sorry for you. I've been there myself every so often. It is not fun. Oh, hi.
Hello.
I mixed you up a nice Cuba Libre and defizz it for you.
Ooh. Now, what's the difference? What is that? Have I had? This is a normal drink, right?
What do you mean a
Hi,
normal
everybody.
drink? Let me get in on this. Here's Heather, and now that she's
Howdy.
here, I can put this up. Here's Heather, Princess of Power, and Nigel, hairy henchman.
Figured I should start with something a little different today since we're doing blondes.
Yeah.
I pulled this one out of the bin O toppers that I like to wear for work. So, what do you think? This one's Katya, named after Katya from RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm not even gonna front. I'm a big fan. And yeah, I heard you talking about Helen.
Yeah.
The star.
Just
hold on. I got a story.
Okay.
The stars are aligning, honey. Okay. So I need to talk about this because you were talking about Helen, which again is like this cheesy quasi alpine village, like in the middle of the mountains of Georgia. It's very weird, but also fun. And tubing is off the hook, so that was fun. But yeah, literally. On the most recent episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star, so I don't know if any of you are fans, but you know, if you watch religiously as I do, then you probably noticed that one of the lesbians that they did the makeover for was from Helen. So I was like, oh, local girl, cool. That's the cool thing about being from like, I'm imagining California, New York, Ohio, or like Georgia, Florida. Like if you're in one of those 5 states-ish, like everyone knows somebody from one of those states. Like it's like we know everybody. And if you travel amongst all those states, you get to learn everybody. So sorry, I was a little late. This happens every time I try to get adventurous and wear eyelashes. So today I was trying to do like a little bit of a pinup-y thing to embrace the blondness of the wigs that Nigel picked out. And like, yeah, the eyelashes, I love the way they look. I hate putting them on because I have really, really round eyes. My friend Holly, she's got these gorgeous dark brown hazel kind of almond-shaped eyes, gorgeous. And she wears eyelashes like nobody's business. I have really round eyes, and so it's a struggle because these strips don't want to bend like that. Do any of you have this issue? Liz, if you're in here, like I think this is something that we've talked about with Liz in the past. But hi everybody. I hope that you are having a wonderful Sunday so far. Sorry, right. So you can go ahead and resume. I just wanted to get that out there.
That's okay, my treasure. That's okay. Having said that, yes, occasionally my back goes out as well, so I can sympathize completely. Are you resting? Are you chilling it? Are you heating it? What are you doing for that? Please, by all means, let me know. I want tips for when it happens to me again.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Tina says, we got a few of those here. Just have to drive up to Folsom to see the tailings left from the mining days. Oh, yeah. Well, they turn those into tourist trap towns as well, do they? Because on the outskirts of Helen, Georgia, they've got little odd mining, panning, jewelry type gold, come pan for gold type little shacks that they put up there. Barbara says, I just published my first novel in 7 years. Yes! Congratulations. So I'm celebrating that and sending out signed paperbacks. The post office loves me long time. Excellent. Well, you know, you're keeping them in a job. Put it
That's right.
You're keeping them in a job, keeping them relevant in this day and age. Well done, you, on all those counts. Excellent. And Krista says that is fantastic, Barbara. Yes. Yes, it is.
That's super cool.
And good luck on the new book. Excellent. Stella! And Barbara thanks everyone. And what we got here? Went to 3 fireworks shows in different cities. That sounds like a blast.
I didn't see any fireworks. I heard them.
We heard a little bit. Yeah, we heard a few fireworks, and thankfully, we didn't. They weren't very close, so our cats weren't freaking out. We did get some of those what do you call them? Those pheromone diffusers for keeping cats calm.
I honestly think that our cats are OGs. Like they are recently from the streets,
Yeah.
so I don't think they were phased at all.
No.
I do think that they get freaked out when there are storms rolling in, though. Still, even though
little
our
bit,
cats
yeah.
are strictly indoors,
Yeah.
like they are not omni-door. I don't know what you would call indoor outdoor aside from indoor outdoor. I just made a word.
All-terrain cats.
All-terrain cats.
All-terrain armored cat sport. Yeah. ATCT. Okay, ATAC probably. Anyway, let's see. Cheryl says my whole neighborhood shut off illegal fireworks for 3 days until after 4 a.m.
Oh.
That sounds like the UK around Christmas time and New Year's.
Yeah,
because they start selling fireworks at like the beginning of December, and people just start shooting them off. So it's not even New Year's yet. Calm down. And about December 17th, they start shooting them off like crazy, and you just want to murder some people after a while. Not that I'm bitter. Tina says they're advising people to be very careful if you go rafting on the American River. It's running fast and it's frigging cold. Well, it's about time you started getting some rain accumulation out in California, I would say.
Even though when we were in California earlier this year,
it was raining.
It was very moist.
Yeah.
It was very moist.
Well, I think it's about dew, really. Cheryl says I could only hear them, not see them, unfortunately. Well,
that's awful. That's like smelling really good food, but then not being invited to the barbecue.
Yeah, where's that lovely jambalaya smell coming from?
Oh, doesn't matter. I can't have any. I can just stare at it through the window.
Yeah. Hi, guys. Leanne Gage here. Hi, Leanne.
Hi, Leanne.
Thanks for joining us. Wendy says, hi, guys. Great to see you. Back at you, Wendy. Thanks for joining us. Leanne says, we live across the street from the zoo, and unfortunately it freaks them out and it gets noisy around here. I can imagine. What we got here? I've never been able to figure out eyelashes. Gave up. Fair enough.
If you do ever figure that out, Kathleen, let me know. I am all thumbs with it. I think they're hanging in there today.
Yeah.
But I swear it took like 4 attempts to get them to stay in place. I felt like and you get to a point where you've gone too far. You can't back out because that glue has gone everywhere and it has smudged everything to hell and back, and you just have to commit. And it's at that moment you're like, God, like eyelashes, like glue-on eyelashes are like the physical equivalent of student loans. It's like once you're in, you just gotta stick with it. It's awful. But the results are good, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, I mean, you get them to stick for a while, and then after about 2-3 hours, they start rebelling, don't they?
Well, no, it's not that. It's like if they stick, they're stuck, and the glue is very hard to get off, right? Like if you do it right, or at least my opinion, every time I've seemingly done it right, it's like the glue stays behind even after you get the lash off, even after you use like remover and stuff, and so it feels like you're yoinking your eyelashes out. So I just try to put the remover on first to try to let it dissolve a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But it just it sticks around a while when you don't want it to.
Oh man. Going in order. Deborah says, hello everyone. It's really bad here in Florida, the Wild West. I can imagine.
Mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes as well.
'Tis the season, even though in some parts of Florida it's always the season for mosquitoes.
You know, when I first went down to Florida back in 1990 something or other for a biology club field trip, I went down there and they were selling in those roadside tourist trap souvenir shacks little tiny carded official Florida mosquito traps. They're basically tiny working metal bear traps. Like they're about that big, about 1.5 inches long, and they actually work. You can actually spring them, set them, press the button, and they go. They're adorable. Tina says all fireworks are illegal here because of the wildfires. Yeah, I bet that doesn't stop people, though. I bet that doesn't stop people. And Kathleen says, been icing, fetal position, anti-inflammatory, rest, muscle creams, chiropractor, going to see spinal doctor in a week. Well,
holy moly.
Cripes, I wish you success and a fast healing from that. I really do.
Is it like a bulging disc or something like that?
Yeah, is it a bulging disc?
Those are awful.
Because I recently went and had my back X-ray for my back, constantly going out, and they said, yeah, there's some arthritis there, and we're looking we want to talk to you more about that. And I think, oh yeah, how much is that going to cost? So we haven't got around to that yet, but yeah. Oh boy.
Hold on, I have to skip to Barbara.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court ruled flash forgiveness because I drew the parallel to student loans.
Yes.
You know, I'm trying to see the silver lining in that situation, by the way. So color me crazy, but this is kind of my take on this. All right. So and this might get spicy. Feel free to tell me if you think I am absolutely full of it. I'm happy to hear other opinions. Just know that this is not, you know, set in stone. It's just an opinion, whatever, right? Take it for what it's worth. But as someone who has 6 figures of student loan debt, I feel duped by the system. And I'm sure a lot of people who are like millennials or, you know, even younger, I'm sure that they probably feel like that. You know, there are probably some Gen Xers out there that feel that way. Like arguably I'm Gen X, even though I was born in the latter half of 1980. And honestly, I graduated college and everything at the same time millennials did, because I didn't actually start college until I was 25. So I consider myself a millennial because the same things that impede their economic progress are the same thing that impede me, more or less, simply because I graduated at the same time. So really a lot of that conversation is about, you know, about the generation gaps, is about media, and it's about the economic conditions when you start your career, right? That are kind of like independent of your individual choices that you can lump together into like these really big cohorts for very large statistical analysis. So anyhow, like, by the way, I'm a data analysis person. Like I do research analytics for a living outside of what I do with the wig store. Shout out to IDC. Hey. Yeah, so I love talking about like how statistics can sometimes be misleading. And I think that sometimes when it comes to generations, that's part of it. But what is not misleading is that, well, it could be misleading depending on who's making the argument. So I take that back. This might actually be a really good argument for misleading statistics. So, or how this is happening, because a lot of people say, you know, people who go to college, they make more than the average person who did not. Why didn't those people just go into trades? So I can tell you, my mom was a tradesperson. She was a master tradesperson. She was a master drywall finisher. So, you know, she did that whole thing and became one of the best in her trade. And she still made far less than I do, even when adjusted for inflation. So going into a trade is not a universal, you know, substitution for some of these really high paying white collar jobs that are out there that you can only get with a college education. There's no way to approximate that with real world experience, because they're using that degree as a screener to see whether or not you're worthy. And so if you know, like, you're autistic like me and you're like, hey, I need a white collar job because I have no hand eye coordination. And if I try to go into the trades, I will hurt myself or someone else because I'm just not that coordinated, right? You kind of need coordinated people in like plumbing and electrician and drywall finishing, construction trade, you know, all those jobs, HVAC. You need someone who can actually do stuff with their hands in a coordinated fashion. I am not that person. And so I always knew that the white collar path was going to be the way for me. And there was no organic pathway to that because reasons, you know, when you grew up in kind of like a chaotic household where your family doesn't really prioritize your education very much, it's every man, woman, and child for themselves. And so, you know, I had to put myself through school. So who's going to help me pay for that? Well, Uncle Sam, right? And
they offered.
My guidance counselors. I had 2 IQ tests when I was in school, and you know, so I knew that I definitely was the kind of person that guidance counselors go, hey, that person should go to college. So I was in college prep classes. Literally, I was in every extracurricular under the sun: chess team, academic challenge, etc. Speech, debate, multiple choirs. I was an editor on the yearbook staff and the newspaper staff. And fun little side note, I edited the entertainment section where all we did was talk about music, and I wrote people's horoscopes. So that was a lot of fun. I know I'm going on a tangent, my apologies. But essentially, you know, I was a good candidate for college. I just didn't have the money. So student loans were the way that I made that happen. And yes, I got scholarships. I absolutely did. I got multiple, and I got grants and all that stuff too. It still wasn't enough to cover the cost. And on top of that, most 4-year colleges, even now, are structured in a way where they basically discourage you, and grad school is even worse about this. They discourage you from working while you're doing this. They literally just want you to, and the whole institution is structured around people who have the luxury of not working while they go to school. I didn't have that luxury. I worked full time the whole time. I still couldn't afford to pay for school outright. I still had to take out loans. And the reason why I feel duped is because, you know, I believed in the Obama era program where essentially they were like, hey, if you go on IBR, you can afford this until you start making enough where you can actually, you know, just pay it off, right? Game on. I want to pay this stuff off. Like, I want to feel that sense of accomplishment. I'm not trying to get something for nothing. But the reality crept in a little bit too late that IBR adds a lot of money onto the back end of that note. So that way, not only do you not pay down the balance, but it continues to grow, like with compounding interest, like it grows. And so it's like, you can't get out from underneath that weight. So my opinion of student loans is that and this thing that's gone on with the Supreme Court, I know that it's like literally a long-winded explanation, but my thoughts on this, and this is my first time in my whole life I've ever tried to really articulate this way, so I guess that's part of why I'm rambling, but it's like, you can't fault people who are poor and have a lack of opportunity for taking advantage of opportunities presented to them, particularly when people in positions of authority are telling them that this is the right move. Mm-hmm. When your guidance counselors, college counselors, all the adults that care about you tell you this is the move, and you have heard from media and institutions and the schools themselves that this is the move, and you see in job listings that if you don't do this move, you can't get those jobs, well then hell yes, okay, fine. It's my responsibility to train myself apparently, and the government needs to subsidize that, is apparently how this is played out. And my problem with that is I'm happy paying off what I borrowed. Why do I need to keep paying interest to this extent? Why does the government feel like it needs to make money off of people like me? Isn't it enough that we pay taxes? Isn't it enough that we are doing all this so we can get jobs, so we can pay more in taxes? Like, isn't that enough of a trade-off for this than having to make us a cash generation machine on top of it? Like, that doesn't seem particularly for the social good. That seems like a business move. And it seems kind of callous to me as someone who's stuck in that position. Because yes, now I have access to those six-figure jobs, but come August 31st, I'm going to have to start paying on that. You know, I'm going to have to start paying on that note. And so my income, even though on paper it's going to look like it's generous, is not much higher than it would have been had I gone into a trade, had I done something that wouldn't have required me to put my life on hold and my 401k and all that stuff on hold. It's like there are sacrifices and trade-offs involved in going to school, particularly if you go to grad school. Like there are just there's so much of an opportunity cost associated with that. So shout out to any of you who've made these tough decisions, who have decided that you wanted to make your life better and then felt afterwards like, what have I done? Because if you've ever felt like an indentured servant to the government, I feel that way. I do. You know, we just got to keep on keeping on. And hopefully someday somebody will notice that argument that it's rich people that are benefiting from student loans is not true. They're rich. They don't need to take out the loans. What about the people who do? And why should we be penalized for looking like we make a lot of money on paper when you factor in the interest and everything else and the opportunity cost, the hit to our 401ks that we took by going to college instead of going immediately into the workforce? Like, that is a non-negligible trade-off. There is a value associated with that. So my apologies for dominating the conversation for so long. This is just a really passionate subject for me. So I'll take a back seat for a second. I'll drink some water.
All right.
Thank you, honey.
No worries. Let's take some more comments. I've seen the ones that have eyeliner that have magnets and just snaps on. Tempted to try that. You've used those.
I have tried that. I've got like a whole drawer of them.
They're very good, aren't they?
They're good, but they don't stay on very well. Like if you've got like a fan on, like I do for my beauty shoots, they kind of go. They kind of fly up in weird ways. So I kind of go back and forth between them personally.
Furthermore, I have degenerative disc disease.
Oh.
No cushions left on back. Now cushions left on low back, 4 vertebrae. I had burning of the nerves before. I've had herniated discs as well.
Oh my God.
No discs left, I mean. Oh man, that sounds
Oh
terrible.
my God.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, I had a friend who had degenerative disc disease back when I was in my 20s, and he was a guy, real tall guy, and the thing is, he looked like he had great posture and you know that he was comfortable, but man, when he showed me the kind of like physical therapy he had to do, the kind of medications he was on, you know, I mean, God. I feel for you, because when your back hurts, or it's like if you have a back, or you have a back pain or a migraine, either of those two things, it's like everything in your life hurts. So I feel for you, and man, I hope that they find some way to give you relief that's like more permanent. Oh,
and she loves your shirt.
Yes, thank you. I figure I do enough to rep cat people. I need to do something for our doggy friends.
Tina says, luckily for me, GI Bill, Pell Grant, and work study paid for my second associate's degree, which is how I got my RHIT.
Hell yes. Well, good job.
And Kyle, hi Kyle.
Hello.
Amen, Heather. The interest is bonkers. Interest is
Thank
just
you.
appalling. I had to take out loans, worked 40 hours while in college. Bloody hell, don't know how
Yes,
you manage that.
I worked 3 part-time jobs the whole time, and I mean, I felt like I was gonna die because I never slept.
Shelly, hi, Shelly. She says, hi, Heather, hi, Nigel. I'm happy to be here finally. No worries, no worries. We haven't got to the good stuff yet. We're going to get to the good stuff very shortly. Cindy says, hello. Hi,
Cindy.
Kristen says, I have degenerative disc disease along with RA and
Oh my
fibromyalgia.
God.
Oh, man. Since it seems that I'm having back trouble like that, and RA as well, you have my sympathies as well. And Heather's mum's got fibromyalgia.
Yes. Yes.
So that's a horrible cocktail. Oh, man. Now, let's see what we've got here.
Well, are we going to start demoing some hair?
Oh, we're going to do that shortly, but we're going to cover the drinks of the week.
Oh.
Heather's got her Cuba Libre, which is essentially rum and Coke. And me, I'm finishing up this Stella Rosa Stella Berry. Now, we were in the supermarket. Heather was looking for some interesting sort of wine cooler type beverages that would keep us covered over the July 4th holiday weekend, because she got 4 days off. So I figured, right, we're gonna, do it up proper. So she saw these. This is this berry version. I'm not sure what it says, because it's the great wine specialty with natural berry flavors. Anyway, there's also there was a mango one and a vanilla one as well that you wanted to try. Yes,
and they were both so hideously sweet that I was like, Nigel, you need to drink all these, because.
Yeah. See, I remember trying to get this. There we go. I remember when wine coolers were first brought out, the old Bartles and James, and we thank you for your support and all that sort of thing. I remember when wine coolers.
It sounds like a political ad. We thank you for your support.
Yeah. Well, you have to put a tiniest pause between sup and port, and we thank you for your support. Anyway, yeah, we figured we'd try this, and as Heather said, these taste like a 6-year-old decided to dissolve Jolly Ranchers, like a lot of Jolly Ranchers, into Mummy's wine. And I'm only drinking them to use them up, and because, Oh,
hold on. Tomorrow is Shelly's birthday.
Is.
Happy birthday, Shelly!
Happy birthday, Shelly!
All right. Oh, wow.
And don't worry about me getting absolutely slaughtered, because this is like 5% alcohol. It's just less alcoholic than some beers. So, I'm not going to get utterly plonkered tonight. But it's nice and cold, and this is a hot room because, as I said, the air conditioning ain't working. So this is a good thing. And I got to say, it does, the grape taste is a bit dimetappy.
Yeah, I don't like those. I mean, maybe it's just the whole principle of enhanced wine, like maybe fortified, enhanced. I don't know what they call it, but why where they put like other fruit flavors in it? Like when I saw that, I was actually expecting some of that to be made of it, like mixed berry wine, as opposed to mixed berry flavor added to a wine.
Right. Now then, where are we here? Here we go. I'm just doing this, and there we go. This should be working at any second now. The next thing we're going to do.
What are you doing?
The next thing we're doing is a live product launch.
Oh, sweet.
I'm going to launch Zoe Mono in Strawberry Shake Rooted. Because Heather's busy demonstrating blonde.
I mean, I could change.
I love it when I do this. I love it when I do this.
That's kind of fun with your skin tone, because your skin almost matches the wig.
I am a very pink Englishman.
You are super pink.
Yeah, so there we go. Let's Zoe Mono in Strawberry Shake Rooted. How do I look? There we go.
I could tell that wasn't necessarily made for your head shape, but
probably not.
It looks cute though.
Well, let me see here.
It looks intriguing with the beard.
See, now I've just made it live, which means it'll take about 3 to 5 minutes to propagate. So we'll get that sorted out momentarily. And so that should be coming up now. I'll let you know when the order has propagated through the system and you can buy this lovely wig.
Here, let me do that.
All right, there you go.
Let me take this topper off. Again, this topper, just for the record, was Katya in Aniston Foil R. This one is heat friendly. All of the toppers that we sell are heat friendly, even though I noticed that the tags say otherwise, which is frustrating, but they are heat friendly. And we did that on purpose because it makes it blend in a little bit more with your actual hair. And I really, really love the crazy razor cut layering all over this particular topper, which is why I thought this would be a cute one to start with. Okay, so here we go. This, let me make sure. Oh, she's still got these little plastic tabbies. There we go. Let's show you the cap. This is the cap. The cap is a lace front. Nigel, I'm taking over the screen.
You do that.
Boom. All right. This is a lace front wig. I don't know why this turned into like an 80s sort of montage thing because I have to make music for it. But okay, so this is it.
Come on, where's the Boone's Farm?
This is it centered. And you can see that she's got a side part, that it is a generous side part, that side part, when she is inverted, goes on the left. So here you go. Fuzzy felt. Generous, open wefting. We've got this nice big band of felt in the back to help her stay in place if you've got a shaved head. And then we've also got Velcro adjusters because Velcro adjusters are awesome. And the ear tabs are also made of felt with a little bitty bit of metal in there to help keep the sides flat up against your head. And I'm going to turn to the side. Normally I wear a wig cap, but these are prototypes that we're keeping in-house, so they're part of my wig collection technically, so I don't feel like I need to do that today. So this is such a cute wig. This is literally Piper, but with a mono part. And unlike Piper, this one is not heat friendly. Piper is a heat friendly wig. Zoe here is not. This is a regular synthetic wig with some premium cap features. How's the back look before I turn around?
There you go.
Okay. She doesn't have any permatease. None that I can detect anyway. She's very, very sleek. Now the caps on these wigs are meant to be a little bit on the average large size by default. So if you have a small head, you may need to remove a couple of the wefts here at the crown. Okay, here, let me turn. Can you turn the screen back on your side so I can see how this looks? There we go.
There we go.
Cool. I just want to make sure they can actually see everything going on in the back here.
Yeah.
See some of that layering there. Hello, layering. Hi.
Deborah asks if Zoe is available now. Yeah, it takes a couple minutes for it to get through the system. Once I press the button, it was supposed to be live at 6:30, so it might be another minute or two before it comes live, but I will let you know and take over the screen and show you that it's live so you can get in on this.
Yeah, so just however long it takes Shopify servers to recognize that we have launched the product is essentially the issue. So come on, Canada, because that's where Shopify is located.
Yeah, still waiting.
Let's just say it will be propagated by the time this particular live stream is over. You did launch it. Everything's good.
Yeah. Okay. Where is it?
Just go ahead and launch it now.
I'm trying to.
All right. Well, let's not get too hung up on that, honey. Let's go ahead and just focus on the live stream, and then we can always do that downstairs when this is over. Because I mean,
no worries.
Between the two of us, no offense, I'm kind of the Shopify whiz. So I can go in there and I can always fix it if necessary.
All right. Where are we here?
Well, we do have people asking what colors you're launching. Would you be so kind as to let them know which colors you're launching today?
Well, today we're just launching the Zoe Mono and Strawberry Shake Rooted. That's what we're launching today. As for what Heather's demonstrating, this ties into the wig we're launching today.
How many Zoes have we already launched?
We've already got 4.
Okay, let them know what colors.
We currently have, as soon as I get this pop-up out of the way, bloody pop-up. We've already got Moonlit Orchid Rooted, Nouveau Riche Unrooted.
That's a good one.
Harlow Blonde Unrooted, and Ginger Snap.
Oh, I love Ginger Snap. Ginger Snap is a very good one if you want a brunette that isn't particularly highlighted. Does this one come in Aniston foil by any chance?
We do not have a Zoe in Aniston foil.
I think I ran with Nouveau Riche instead of Aniston foil.
Well, let me see here.
But
Zoe. Alas, we do not have Aniston foil for Zoe.
Anything close to that? Might be able to launch later.
Closest thing we have is the Nouveau Riche Unrooted.
Okay,
as soon as Strawberry Shake Rooted comes up, we will have all 5 colors of Zoe available.
Okay, so my recollection on that was correct. That I went with the Nouveau Riche instead of Aniston foil. It's blonde in the front. It's a little bit light brown in the back. It's got basically the same essential colors, or at least most of them. It's just the way that the colors are spread out on the hair is a little bit different.
All righty, I am taking over the screen.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Share screen.
And Cheryl asked what kind of lippy I'm wearing. This is Buxom lip liner, and I can't remember what the color is. I'd have to get back to you on that, but it's just a lip liner pencil. So if you could be so kind as to remind me, I can try to get that
Am
info.
I presenting?
Yes.
Okay, as you can see, folks, Zoe Mono and Strawberry Shake Rooted is now available.
Oh snap! We might have to take some pictures of me in this.
Yes, I know. I'm hoping we can get some nice angles on you in a second. But here it is. It's available. And if this was chosen by the release order was chosen by our patrons, and as another bonus, not only do you get to help choose what order the new releases come out in, you also get a nice little discount. So Patreon patrons, if you're watching this, you should already have seen the post about the nice little coupon code for yourself. So pop on in, you can get your nice little Patreon discount, and it's ready and waiting for you. Okay, there we go. That's Zoe. Okay, then.
Really good coverage, by the way. I mean, you can see where my hair ends and Zoe begins, because Zoe's root color is a little bit warmer. It's like a dark honey blonde, as opposed to my hair color, which is more of like a pepper with a little salt in it kind of color. It's like a number 4 if you're familiar with wig colors. A lot closer to a 2 if you're familiar with human hair colors. It's a very dark brown. My hair, by the way, insanely curly. I don't know if I've ever taken pictures of it or showed you if you've not seen it, but my natural hair, it is very curly, very kinky curly, because you know, it just is what it is. It always looked like I had a perm, and I remember when I was a little kid, hairstylists would be like, "Hey Heather, why do you keep wanting to straighten your hair? Your hair is gorgeous. It's so curly." And I'd be like, "Because it's a pain in the butt." Like when I was a kid, I always wanted hair kind of like this, you know, like straight, you know, professional, except for the pink, but pink is rad. So I couldn't resist it. And
Okay, Heather, let's say we get some nice angles on you here. I'm going to remove myself, and then you can just...
or we could just wait till after, and I could just take some selfies with a better camera.
As you wish.
Yeah. No, the camera on here isn't as good as the one on my iPhone, so
all right,
let's do that one.
Fair enough. All right, let's show off some other wigs, shall we?
Your party. Well,
all right,
dress me up.
Right. Well then, if you will reach this first wig down here on the stool behind you.
You can't just hand it to me.
Ugh. Do everything on these bloody things.
I used to do
Top
everything.
that barge, lift that bale.
Oh my God. You know, I used to be the one that used to do all of these things that he is currently complaining that he has to do. I think I've made my opinion known.
I got my first perm when I was 5, says Tina.
I've heard that that's the case, that girls with straight hair always want curly hair, and girls with curly hair are like, why? All these tangles, why?
Grass is always greener.
I envy him. He's got the best of both worlds. His hair is just wavy, right? So it doesn't tangle as much. It's so silky and pretty, and it's ripply. And mine does not gently ripple. Mine, it's like Ronald McDonald curls. Okay, what's this next one?
I'll tell you when you put it on. I'll even put up the little banner underneath.
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise.
Okay, well, before I put the surprise on, you can see here we've got an open top. We've got little metal adjusters on the ear tab. So this is definitely a Wigs Forever. One of the big differences between the Wigs Forever wigs and the Sister Wigs Limited Collection wigs. Okay, so the Wigs Forever wigs, not the toppers, the wigs are regular synthetic, not heat friendly, whereas the Sister Wigs Limited Collection, all of those wigs are heat friendly. And then the other big difference is that I put more effort and spent more money on the cap construction on the Wigs Forever line. So you can consider them kind of like an elevated version of what we do with their Sister Wigs Limited wigs. So you can see we've got the same Velcro adjusters and generous bit of felt in the back here. Lots of wefts. And again, the same note about this fitting average large applies. Now, I know that that is kind of a niche thing because most wigs are actually, especially medical wigs, are actually made petite average by default. They're not made true average usually. Ooh, I can tell this is Illuminati because it glows. Is that true?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. I love this one. This one is...
It's a nice, very nice pearly blonde.
Yes.
Pearly platinum.
It just glows. It's... Woo!
So to forestall your questions, is wearing Colette in Illuminati rooted by Wigs Forever.
How's the back of this look? Can you help me adjust the back?
Yes, I can.
And this looks good. I'm glad that I wore lashes now because I would be very washed out in this color had I not done contouring for days and lashes. Because I am contoured to the gods right now. All right, I'm going to take you off the screen really quick just so you can see all of this.
I'm still on the screen.
Well, no. I just don't want split screen because I want them to be able to see all the nooks and crannies.
So I think Thomas's English muffin.
English muffins are good, so I'm fine with this.
Crumpets are better.
No argument. I mean, if you want something a little crunchy, the English muffins will get you there, right?
Yeah.
The crumpets don't ever really get crunchy, but that's because crumpets are delicious sponges for butter.
Oh yeah.
They have no other purpose except to be delicious butter sponges.
People in this country mock crumpets, but they don't know. They're fabulous.
This is cute. I like this. Again,
I thought you'd like that.
Yeah, this is fun.
I figured we'd show off some blondes since it's summertime.
Blonde?
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 Blonde. Blonde. We'll show off some blondes for summertime, and then put it up to the Patreon patrons to vote what order they'd like to see them appear in. So, love crumpets. Tina, you obviously have amazing taste.
Yes.
Impeccable taste. What's happening with the release of Stella? Well, Cheryl,
We haven't made Stella yet.
we haven't made it yet.
Yeah, that's what's happening with the release of Stella. We haven't even made that yet. I mean, in all honesty, I'm still trying to figure out what the window is for doing marketing for our own wig brand. So maybe should I dive into that, or does it not matter?
What do you mean? You mean talk about it now, or
Yeah.
if you want to?
All right. Okay, so in my heart of hearts, what I would like to do more than anything under the sun is just do this full time, right? I would like to do more fun, like live shopping sort of demos and stuff like that are very time consuming and not particularly profitable, but they do help, enhance relationships, and I think they'd just be fun to do. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, honey.
I meant to respond to that, so I'll type it out to Deb. All right. Okay.
Okay.
I'll type to Deborah. You go ahead and.
Okay, cool. So, what was I saying? Because you're distracting.
Talking about doing this full time and marketing. And all
Okay,
that.
yeah. All right. So, the thing is, I'm actually kind of scared about the marketing environment right now, and I think part of this is because of what I do with my day job. Like, I'm literally like a marketing consultant in many regards. I do like analytics for businesses that engage almost purely in digital environments. My title is actually, I'm the research director for worldwide digital commerce, software, and services at IDC. So I study all that stuff. And to study that, I literally have to study the environments where this stuff is being used, which, stuff like Amazon and Meta, TikTok, etc. And, I have to pay attention to regulation that is coming down the pipeline and stuff like that too. And I will turn a little bit so you can actually see more of the hair while I'm jibber jabbing. But the issue is that things are about to get real weird. Trust. Things are about to get real weird. And even if you don't take anything else away from this conversation, just hear me out on this. I can't give a ton of detail simply because it might be boring, but and it also might sound a little bit like dystopian nightmare fuel. But in general, like there's legislation, very robust legislation that is coming from the EU that is going to be very impactful for any business online. And these two pieces of legislation build upon GDPR, which is the piece of legislation that forces you to accept cookies at the bottom of every stinking website. So literally every website where you get that stupid GDPR banner is basically going to be subjected to the terms of the Digital Services Act, which is going to regulate a lot of marketing activities. It's going to regulate a lot of the environments where marketing activities happen. And you're going to see some weird, super, super weird activities coming from companies like Google, Meta, Apple, etc. They're going to keep being weird and in the media at all times, probably for the next year or two, because they're being targeted very aggressively for disruption by this legislation. And they're going to do everything in their power to pretend like they're not, particularly here in the United States. They want it to look like optically they still own this conversation and that it's not being taken out from underneath them by the European Union. Likewise, our government is going to help them a little bit. And this is not a conspiracy theory. This is literally part of what I have to advise my clients about all the time. And like my prediction, and literally I'm on the record stating this in some of my research, that like our government is literally going to do everything in its power to pretend like it's going to legislate these companies, because the alternative is that it's going to look like we've lost control of that narrative to the EU. So a lot of that activity is going to accelerate through the second half of this year and into the first half of next year because of the optics of the situation. But I mean, our government is so fundamentally dysfunctional. It's like a dysfunctional family at this point. That it's going to happen probably either way. That the cat's going to come out of the bag, and people are going to realize that a lot of these behaviors are being influenced by another government and the activities of another government. And so, if you have any questions about that, I highly encourage you to just Google the DSA and the DMA. You'll get a lot of information about that. And just know that extra regionality in those laws does apply, which means that it doesn't really matter if your business is located in the EU, if you're selling to those people, or if you're marketing to people in the EU, including expats that are living in the United States, then yes, that will still apply to you and your company. So yeah, I know I'm losing people now because of this talking point, because I see the little ticker going down, but just know things are going to get real weird. And that to me means a lot when it comes to what I'm doing with the marketing for the business, because I have a sneaky suspicion that I'm going to spend a lot of money without a lot of return on that investment for marketing right now, because it's like building a house on top of sand. You know, it's like I really want to wait until things stabilize a little bit and then figure out what's the pathway moving forward, because I don't have the kind of money where I can just throw it at stuff. And unless we can market our products, you know, to people outside of our core group of customers, like the business won't grow. And if the business doesn't grow, I can't make more styles. So literally we have to grow it in order to build more styles. And so kind of what I've done is I got a day job, like this thing I keep mentioning at IDC. I got the day job to keep the business going, because it means that I don't need to take a salary from the business. I can spend that money on building up the business. And in fact, I spent most of the weekend playing around with trying to figure out how to make a headless website, just you know, for fun. And I was playing around with like Vercel and Next.js, and I was playing around with a lot of different GitHub repositories to try to see if I could find an easy way to go headless. I don't think that that's easy. I think there's still a technological lift there, but it's something that I'm dedicated to learning, just so that way we can move on with our tech stack and potentially get off Shopify and potentially grow the company.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've been doing in the background, is trying to get all the product pages caught up, all the links fixed, all the text fixed, all the interconnectivity fixed, so that we can move it off Shopify at some date, so we can just lift it, move it over, plonk it down, and have it function right off the bat.
Yeah, I now know enough about tech to know that I do not want to be locked into a single platform, even if it's convenient. It limits your growth opportunities so much. So I thought, you know, hey, I should probably, well, one, I need to try on another wig, but also,
well,
hand me a wig then.
Well, 1 second. I just want to share this. Listening while sun gazing. Glad you're on. Thank you, Colleen.
Hi, Colleen.
Colleen also says, having an affair still with my Barbie dreams are in the bracelet. It's a good thing you mentioned Barbie dreams are, Colleen, because we're going to feature another Barbie dreams are wig very soon. So stick around for that. She'll be up later, okay? I think you might like her.
Well, give me another wig.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's keep playing.
Well, take that wig off then.
Yes, sir.
Take it off. Where's the tag for it?
I don't know. Here.
Okay.
Thanks.
This is. Oh, that's okay. Didn't have a tag. We're doing charisma.
Uniqueness, nerve.
In Illuminati R.
Yes. So this, you can already see, this is a slightly different kind of wig construction. This cap is a little bit smaller. This one does have the same nice felt ear tabs with a little bit of metal to keep it nice and flat on the sides of your head. It still has the same nice Velcro adjusters, but it has the hook and loop thing in the back as opposed to Velcro. It's just got the felt back here. So if I said Velcro a second ago, my apologies. She's still nice and stretchy and still, as you can see, relatively closed top. This one doesn't have any monofilament. Which one is this again?
That is charisma in Illuminati rooted.
Ooh. Charisma's a wild child. She always looks a little bit messy, and that's what I like about her.
Colleen says, I love you both. I am sober right now. Thank you, Colleen, and we our heart goes out to you.
Unless that's a choice, and then good for you.
Well, if it's a choice, that's fine. But, you know, if not, that can be remedied.
I'm just going to play with her because she's got a lot of layering. And sometimes I really like doing that. Hello. Oh, she's crazy. Like Albert Einstein hair right now. Or like Andy Warhol.
Oh, no, not that bad.
Hold on. No, I can't get it to do that.
No.
Sexy Andy Warhol.
No, he never was. Ever. Ever. He looked like a mop with glasses and a sneer.
Okay, can you fix the back of this for me just before I do my little turn?
Okay, we'll turn your head a bit. There we go. Okay. Heather is now wearing Charisma in Illuminati Rooted by Sister Wig Limited.
Whee! Let's see how the back of this looks. I feel like you gotta slouch more. This one has a very intriguing pattern in the back that literally is meant to look crazy. It's got kind of like an alternating curl with straight bit pattern. So here I'll turn again so you can kind of see that in the back. It's meant to look a little bit wild. She's meant to look like you're about to go to like a rock concert or something.
Jean says very cute. Thank you, Jean.
I'm giving adorable bass player vibes.
Deborah said she bought Zoe. Thank you, Deborah.
Yay, thank you.
Kind of Debbie Harry, says Barbara.
Yes.
Yes. And Tina, I don't have access to the customer support. John does. I'll get him to send that drink recipe over to us. Thank you very much indeed.
And shout out to John for still helping with our customer support.
Yes, indeed.
So we are actually doing a lot of stuff, as you could probably tell through my little story and the fact that I just referenced John. Like, we're still plugging away at this stuff, even though it's going a lot more slowly than I would have liked. And again, part of that ties into the marketing. So to answer Cheryl a little bit more succinctly, perhaps, than my long rambling mess earlier, like literally, we need to figure out a way to grow the business, right? But I also don't want to be too pushy about it. And I don't want to spend a ton of money on marketing when I know that right now I might be lighting that money on fire. And so I'm kind of waiting to see what happens. But we are still holding it together. It's still a profitable business too, which I think is really important. Like as much as it stinks to be small and to, you know, be kind of like hindered in your growth because of the lack of funds, it is cool to know that it's profitable. That's proof of concept that we're making products that people really enjoy. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your support, and just know that we're not phoning it in. We're still plugging away at this. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out a way to make the website cooler, so that way it doesn't load as slowly, make it a little bit more mobile friendly. You know, like I want it to be fun. I want to make it a good like experience, as cheesy as that word has become to use.
Well, the thing is, the problem is I can't help it because Heather works from home for her other job. I pretty much have to listen to some of the conference calls she's in, and a lot of the company she talks to thinks customer experience just means a flashy viral ad and a good website.
Well, that's because they're marketing people, right? Like, they're viewing this through a very narrow lens with very narrow key performance indicators telling them what to do. And so, you know, they just need to make line go up.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, but they don't know what a full customer experience is. Like thorough customer service, video links, blog entries to help figure stuff out, all that.
Honey, that's not that revolutionary of a statement when you consider that a lot of these same marketing people have no idea how to use the products that they're selling.
Well, I know, but the thing is, Heather, they don't know what a customer experience was if it came up and gave them a haircut.
Well, I'm not going to say similar things of that nature because they're my clients in some cases, and I actually think that is not true. I think that they're actually pretty good at selling their products, hence why they're such big companies. But we can have a difference of opinion there.
Fair enough. All right, then. Any new comments? They skipped again. I hate when they skip. This is stuff. Right, you want to try the next style?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Here's the next one. Now then, here is where it gets fun. You're waiting for Barbie Dreams Rooted? Here's some Barbie Dreams Rooted. Give me that. What's that?
What is this one?
Where's the...
Is this a poppy?
Yes, it is.
I guessed right. Yay. Okay. I made them. I'd be sad if I couldn't guess that right. Okay, there you go. Oh, and in case you're wondering how I prep my hair, because I think that's also important information, particularly if I'm whipping these off and putting them on without a hairnet. You might be like, why isn't my hair flying all over the place? I used a profound amount of spray gel all over my head. I've got my hair clipped in place. I've got it in kind of like a little bun, not a ponytail. And I literally just spritzed the living daylights out of this. And then I put the hairnet over it. Oh, who came to visit?
Scarlett.
Scarlett came to visit. Oh, that's our kitty. We have 2 kitties that live in the house now, Scarlett and Gary. Hey, Scarlett. Hi, meow. She doesn't like to be held, or else I'd pick her up.
Well, she's down there somewhere.
She looks like Chubbs, and that's why we got her, because she reminded me of my Chubbs.
There she
Hey,
is.
Scarlett.
Hi, Scarlett. Say hi to the internet, Scarlett. Nope, she's buggered off.
She is
Too
what
much
I like.
attention.
Okay, she is what I like to refer to as cat classic. As in, she's one of those cats where she's like, I want your attention and I want it right now. And then you give her that attention and she promptly walks away from you. You know?
Careful.
Is she right there?
She's right there.
Like, here's the thing. She wants attention. She wants love. She's a very sweet kitty who has obviously been through some stuff.
Yeah. The problem is she'll walk up to you very quietly while you're not paying attention, and then you move and accidentally kick her. Where'd she go?
Oh, Scarlett. She is so cute. I'm surprised.
She buggered off.
I'm surprised Gary hasn't come up.
He has. Gary watched me while I was ferrying the wigs back and forth from the photography studio into here, and doing the deep tacoing technique. And he just sort of laid there and watched me. I was like, "What are you doing, man?" And then he just went downstairs.
Aw, Gary. I can't. He's so cute that I can't even pronounce his name with a hard R. He's not Gary. He's Gary, which is disgusting when I say it out of context because I'm like, gosh, I'm using baby language with a cat, but he's so cute. He does this. He has little fangs. He has little fangs, so he's like a vampire. And then I've trained him to do the Chubbs thing. So both him and Scarlett, they'll both raise their paws for treats now. And he's very good at it. And he does this whole Puss in Boots thing where his eyes get huge and he's got these little fangs. And he's like, oh. It's like,
Here's the door.
I'm such a sucker. I have to give him all the treats. It's like a law of nature. So same thing here. Heat friendly wig is our little poppy. We've got the nice bit of felt back here, felt all the way around. It's got 365 felt. Even got a little bit of felt under here, underneath the adjuster elastic. So that's kind of impressive. So she's also got a relatively closed cap. The cap on Charisma and Poppy is identical. It's just their style different. But again, they're heat friendly, like I just mentioned. So if you need to change it up and you want to curl them, this one in particular looks great when you curl her a little bit more. But this is more like a classic little bob. This one's so cute.
Now, the reason I brought this one out, I had this set before a bunch of ladies said they love pop.
You fix the back?
Yeah. I brought this out and had it ready to go way before like yesterday. Before anyone said that they like Barbie Dreams Rooted, I figure it's summer. It's time for blondes. And there's going to be a Barbie movie released very soon, so why the hell not?
I'm going to turn now so you can see this. I feel like I need to grab Gary, though. I want to show them Gary. I could probably already showed them Gary, though.
Tina says her kitty is laying next to me.
Aw, kitty!
Lori, hi Lori, says, I feel ooh la la in dark brown shade, but not scare me, so I wear blonde. Fair enough.
Dark knotting can be intimidating, right? Because unless you're wearing a French drawn wig, you can still kind of see the knots, and then you got to get creative about how you part the wig and how you try to obscure the knotting. I've never really cared too much either way, but I do feel you, because when I do like speaking engagements, I always wear a French drawn wig just in case there are a bunch of pictures of me, you know, because I mean, those are really high profile engagements. But I guess it just depends on the context. When I'm at work, like I'll throw anything on, anything, because I mean, it's Zoom. And then people are like, wasn't your hair brown yesterday? You're blonde today. But
Weren't you a redhead?
yeah, weren't you just a redhead? What is going on? I'm like, I have a wig store. Hey.
Woohoo! 2 sales since we launched the Zoe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me know what you think, because I know that Piper was a big hit, and that was literally what we were thinking about with Zoe. I was like, how can we elevate this a bit? And moving forward, by the way, going back to Cheryl's earlier question about Stella. Stella would be a Wigs Forever wig. My plan for the future is to literally only buy and make those Wigs Forever styles from here on out. So, I mean, I don't plan to like discontinue the things we're doing with the Sister Wigs Limited line. I just want to start making them with similar caps to what we're doing with the Wigs Forever line, because I think the caps are better. But let me know what you think in the comments, obviously, whether or not you agree with that assessment. But I want to make sure that, you know, we're always trying to elevate things as we move forward, especially since we have to move slowly while we're doing it. We might as well try to make it better every time we do something new. All right, well.
All right.
Let's see, here's the back.
Go.
Again. Looking at the back again. Yeah, Poppy's a cute one. I should try to wear this at work sometime, because I wonder if they'd notice that it's got pink in it.
I think Gary would just distract them with his tail lashing beside your ear.
Gary is my head cat. He sits behind me while I'm on calls all day. You know what? I'm just gonna go like see if I can grab him.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'll just sit here and keep the watchers. Bloody pop-ups. Gotta get rid of this sometime. Keep everyone entertained with my rapier wit. Literally, she cannot pronounce it. No.
I called his name and went, and I heard,
Yeah. She literally cannot pronounce it with an R. It's always Gowie.
Gary. Here, come say hi to our friends. Come on, Gary. Come on, buddy.
Adorable is one comment. Another comment. Heat defined is my vote for future pieces, but I know not so much about your industry. That's okay. Bone is most comfortable to me, and I think that's a CL wig. And the pink doesn't really show on this webcam. Says Cheryl. Right, you got Gary?
I got Gary. Look, everybody, it's Gary.
Well, no, we haven't been to any movies lately, I'm afraid, Tina. In fact, the last movie we went to was the first animated Addams Family movie in October 2019. That's the last time we went to a movie theater. There's Gary the Grage.
That's Gary Grage. His middle name is Murray because he murs.
And here comes Scarlett. She wants to be in on it.
Aww.
Hi, Scarlett. There she is.
Hi, Scarlett.
There's Scarlett.
She is cute. Yeah, we named her that because Nigel thought that she looked a little bit like Scarlett Johansson in the face.
Well, yeah, she's got the eyes, cheekbones, and pointy little chin of Scarlett Johansson, and the diva-like attitude of Scarlett O'Hara.
She's not that much of a diva.
Well, she was when she first got here. She felt a bit diva-ish. There they are. And Scarlett's walking out now because it's too much.
Yeah, he's a cutie. And she is also cute. I'm so happy we have kitties now at our house O'Hare. Now that none of the wigs that we actually sell are here, it's a lot easier.
Hi, Gowie.
Hi, Gowie. I literally have trouble pronouncing his name with a hard R.
He's a handsome boy.
He's Gowie.
Yes, he is. All right. Let's see here. We're past the 1 hour mark. I think we should get to the next. Oh, here we go. Hey, I like that Poppy.
Poppy's a good one.
You like this one? That's the RB Dreams rooted there. So yeah, we'll get that.
Do we have any more?
We got one more. We've got one more. Let me find the banner.
I do think that these kinds of like warm blondes, though they don't necessarily always go well with my skin tone. Today they are because I'm rocking a ton of makeup. So, I mean, I'm cheating. But like normally I stay away from these kinds of colors and gravitate towards things that are a little cooler. But one good thing about these warmer blondes is that they make my eyes look really green.
Yes.
Because I mean, they bring out the warmth in my eyes, I guess. So what's this next one?
I'm just checking something.
Mer.
For a minute, so.
Mer.
All right.
Gary, by the way, is still sitting behind us, so he just didn't want to be on camera, but he's literally still in the room.
Okay, Cheryl says, any new colors coming for Vaughn? No, Cheryl, I'm afraid we've got all our Vaughn colors are currently launched. So that's all we're getting for the time being. If we do, you folks will be the first to know. All right. I want to see the new Insidious.
Insidious.
I haven't even seen the first one. That sounds like a perfume.
Sounds like a not good smelling perfume. It's like
you're sort of sitting there, and all of a sudden, what the hell is that? It crept up on me.
Insidious.
Makeup done well, Heather.
Thank you.
I have to use a ton of makeup for my Harlow Blonde Poppy, but I love the style so much.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it.
I feel that way with a lot of blondes. It's like, where's my blush? Bring it. Bring it. All the blush.
All right. Last one, Heather.
Ooh. What is it?
I'll let you know.
Okay.
So that one back. Cute. And as soon as you pop it on, I'll put it on the banner.
All right. So this one, again,
last one for the evening,
has the Velcro, not Velcro, the felt on the ear tabs. Also has the felt.
Sorry.
Does not have a felt nape, mind you. Sorry, misspoke. But it has the loop adjusters and is open enough on top that you can see the tracks, but it's still technically closed. So it'll breathe relatively well for a closed cap, standard cap wig. Okay, putting this one on. Is this a Grayson?
Yes, it is. Heather is now currently wearing Grayson in South Beach Sands by Sister Wigs Limited.
Can you help me fix the back?
Yes, doesn't need fixing.
Oh, sweet. I love it when things don't need fixing.
Yeah.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Terry Sue says, hi, Terry Sue. I can see the pink in your wig just fine. It's so cute. Love your kitties. Tina says, saw the latest Indiana Jones last week. Not bad, not the best. Yeah, that's how Indiana Jones movies have been going since number 3.
I would argue that's how Indiana Jones movies have been going since number 1, but...
Oh, you mean the fact that he never has to actually do anything for the good guys to win?
I mean, if you actually watch them like you've never seen them before, right? Yeah. And you watch them with the... Don't ever become a person that, you know, it gets paid to be a critical thinker about every aspect of your life, because it takes the fun out of a lot of movies. You start watching them and you're like, that's a plot hole. That's a plot hole. Why is he doing that? They didn't explain that. And don't even get me started on the new Star Wars movies, because every time I try watching one of those, I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Why is he doing that?
Don't get me started.
Didn't they just do that in the previous movie? Who is this person? And why do we need to know his name aside from to sell his toys? Like, grr.
Hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm a shuttle pilot.
Cool.
Now available for $13.99.
There were so many characters in that trilogy where I was like, I don't actually need to know your name. You're the guy who put the fuel in the Millennium Falcon or something. I don't know. But like, why do we need to know your name? Random nerf herder. What? Like all these...
Yet you know the word nerf herder. I love you so very much.
I'm just like playing with this one.
I loved 1 and 2, but after that,
Yeah.
I quite liked 3 as it was, but after that it got a bit weird. But Terry Sue says Grayson looks very natural, so pretty. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good color.
I may need to get my wallet open for this Grayson. Well, Colleen, it's not launching yet. It's going to be part of the next poll over at the Patreon page. So that the 4 wigs you've seen tonight that we are previewing tonight, they're going to go up on the next poll, and there will be the they will help decide the release schedule for these.
Schedule.
Yes.
Schedule. Yeah, this is a good one.
Crisp and refreshing.
Yeah, I like that this one has these layers, and you can either sweep them off the face. But I mean, I'm always thinking about. Okay. I used to weigh almost 300 pounds, and I was that way for like more than 20 years of my life. And so I don't forget not only what that felt like or how people reacted and responded to me, but also like the fact that I was always looking for ways to try to like carve out my face. And I still kind of feel that because I still have a very wide heart-shaped face, right? Like you can still see the little heart, right? But it's still broad. And so I'm always thinking about ways to try to, and I'm not like a super skinny girl either. So I think that also kind of helps paint the point that a little bit of layering near the face, a little bit of contour can go a long way to helping you feel a little bit less like wide, right? And again, if your aesthetic doesn't match what I just described, no worries, whatever, you do you. Do whatever with your appearance makes you happy, right? In my case, I always, was trying to minimize the width of my face a little bit. And so, I use highlighter, I use contouring, and yes, I use layering and sometimes some volume on the top of the wig. Like Grayson does have a tiny little bit of permatease. Not much, but just enough that if you play with her here, like I'm just rubbing it. I'm like tickling it. I often call it tickling the hair. Like literally I'm just tickling that permatease to try to bump it up a little bit and add a little bit of volume back towards the crown, not necessarily towards the face, because I want the face to kind of frame out. So I don't really need a ton of volume there. I'm not going for the whole like Saved by the Bell bangs,
The koosh bangs.
Yeah, as Nigel calls them, the koosh bangs.
Right. Colleen asks, describe the South Beach sand color. I need warmth. Okay. Well, quoting directly from our color swatches, South Beach Sands is a dark sandy blonde, a generous swirl of light golden brown, light caramel brown, dark ash blonde, and light beige blonde with short medium brown roots. There's
a lot of blonde in this wig. Okay, so let me point out some of those colors. So can you read through that description one more time, and I'll kind of show people where everything's at.
It's a dark sandy blonde.
That's the composite.
A generous swirl of light golden brown.
Okay, that's the base. You can see most of it down here, right? But it is a mixed color, so even down here, it's not pure. It's not like 12FS8 from John Renault, right? Like where this would be all that golden brown. Can you get that off the screen so I can?
Sorry, give me 1 second here.
Here we go. Yeah, that way Colleen can see. So this is not a pure golden brown because I didn't want it to be that stark of a contrast. So it's got a little bit of the dark blonde mixed in with that too. So that way it's a more gradual progression from light to dark throughout the composite. So, all right, move on to the next in the thingy bobber.
Light caramel brown.
Okay, so when you look on the top in particular, most of this color is going to be near the top. You're going to see little pops of like not quite like copper, right? It's not like a red, but you'll see a little bit of additional warmth up near the top. And it's really striking up against these little bits here. That's the golden blonde. And that is the caramel kind of interlaced in here with that golden blonde or the golden brown, which is the base color. So that the color that's back here is all throughout this color. It's just that, and by the way, it's also relatively similar to what's up here, even though I believe that this color is 1 shade darker. So I believe this is an 8 up here and that everything else is lighter. Now this color here, right, is a very, very pretty golden blonde. I chose that. It's a light golden blonde up against a dark blonde that is kind of in the mix. Now, there isn't a ton of that dark ash blonde in here. Where you're really going to see it is back here and mixed in with the base shade. So it doesn't have like dark ash blonde streaks or anything like that in it. Instead, it's there to mellow out the overall color. So that way you get a nice warm color, but it never looks brassy. You know, whatever light you're in, it's just going to look like a really pretty dark dynamic blonde as opposed to a red or something that's really gold. Was that Gary?
He says,
He sings the song of his people.
so to answer the questions that are coming through, is it a warm color, a cool color, or a balanced color?
It's a balanced color for sure, but I would say if I were going to say it's a little bit more one than the other, because sometimes these balanced shades can be, it's a little bit warmer than cooler. But I find this to be a very easy color to wear. And if you wear the Aniston foil, which I was wearing at the beginning, this is on Katya. So this is a heat-friendly fiber because all of our toppers are heat-friendly, even though if they're Wigs Forever. You can see these colors are very similar, right? But you can also see that in the Aniston foil, there's more of that dark blonde, that dark ashy blonde. So you can kind of see the roll of that ashy blonde and how they're used between the two colors. So between the South Beach Sands and the Aniston foil in the heat-friendly version, Aniston foil is a little ashier and a little bit, I would say, more in the middle in terms of that balance between the cool and the warm. Whereas with this one, the South Beach Sands, it's a little bit more of that warmth, but it's still in the middle, right? Like I wouldn't consider this an all the way gold color or an all the way kind of red. It's deliberately meant to be a little toned down.
What are you doing, Gary?
Tina says Nigel sounds like Simon's cat, and I said so does Gary. Seriously, Gary goes around like a little he mutters to himself like a little old man.
Oh,
and
he does.
Every so often he'll catch our eye and just look at us and go, as if to say, "Come on, food." You know.
That's probably what he's doing in here.
Isn't that right, Gary?
I fed you guys some wet food before I came up here.
What does that have to do with anything?
He grifts for food all the damn time.
He's not telling you he hasn't eaten, man. He's telling you he would like some more.
Of course. What is on your shirt? Looks like Nike.
For me?
Are we talking about? Oh, hang on. No, it is not the winged Nike of Samothrace. What this is, it's a weeping angel from Doctor Who and a Boo from Super Mario Brothers. The joke being that neither of these creatures can move while you're looking at them. So they're facing each other, so they are stuck never moving for the rest of eternity because they're facing each other and they have to hide their eyes and faces.
Did I get that one for you?
You got this for me because you were browsing through t-shirts and I looked at that and laughed so hard you decided to get it for me. So yeah, it's a weeping angel and a Boo, or a Boo Diddley from Super Mario Brothers.
All right. Well.
Nikkei. Right, gotcha.
So do we have anything else that you want to talk about, or are we good for the evening?
Let's see. The blending on South Beach Sands is awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I love this color.
Wet food is nasty. You know what? That's the funny thing, Tina. Look, I've looked at some of the wet foods that we pick up for the cats. They're better than the food we get.
Well, that's because we're getting really bougie cat food, though.
Right. Seriously? The one I gave them this afternoon is pate with quail's eggs. I want pate with quail's eggs. I haven't had quail's eggs in ages. They're bloody delicious. Awfully fiddly. It's like, pate with quail's eggs? Why can't I get that? These cats are getting fish that I haven't had on a plate in like 5 years. I want some bream.
I mean, I found all kinds of weird stuff. Lamb, duck, venison, quail's eggs, like you mentioned.
All this good stuff.
All this stuff. I'm like, why isn't this in our food chain? But the cats get it? Okay. Yeah. Rabbit, like all kinds of stuff. I wouldn't eat rabbit, though, because bunnies.
Meanwhile, we go into, I went into the dairy section a couple days ago looking for some creamer for the coffee. And they had like a little 12 to 18 pack of quail's eggs for something like $17 or something. So yeah, the cats are getting all the good food for even cheaper than we can get it.
It's ramen and mac and cheese for us. No, it's not. But the way you made that sound, it made it sound like we're eating like ashes and they're they're eating venison.
Well, I'm not saying we're eating bad food. I'm just saying, when was the last time I had hake on a plate? I like hake. It's a good fish.
That almost rhymed. Hake on a plate.
Hake on a plate. Oh, sorry. I almost went Dr. Seuss there. I understand, but some of the wet food just she got out a pouch that was chicken and gravy, and it smelled like chicken and gravy. It was fantastic.
I do feel you though, Tina, because like I feel that way
The
sometimes.
fish ones.
Well, no, and even with like people food, like Hormel people food, when people open a can of Spam, I'm like, no,
Potted meat food product.
Just the smell. It's just too much.
Lol, my dogs eat lots of raw meat, eggs, flax, pumpkin. They eat better than we do.
And I bet their fur is very nice and shiny.
Oh yes, lovely and shiny. Okay, so I think that's all the wigs I wanted to show off.
And thank you, because again, Nigel produced this whole thing. He set it all up. He picked the hair. He picked the theme. I just showed up.
And look pretty.
Aw, thanks.
But yeah, these are going to be the next 4 colors that the Patreon people get to vote on for the release schedule. So if you want to be a part of that decision-making process and get a nice hefty discount on the wigs and new releases, check out our Patreon. We've got a link down in the description below. Here's our website, hairkittykitty.com. And if you're not signed up for our newsletter, simply go to our website and submit the form at the bottom of the page. And here's our Patreon details if you want to sign up and help make release schedule decisions and get a nice little coupon code with every release.
Yes,
so
he's coordinating all that too. So if you're a Patreon subscriber and there's anything that you would like him to consider, let him know.
Yeah, I take comments, I take suggestions. And other than that, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure. And we will see you again in what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks. It should be 2 weeks.
Okay, that's not my birthday, is it?
Ooh, crikey.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out for sure.
It's only the 9th.
Okay, good.
23rd.
Cool.
The 23rd.
Cool, because the first week in August, I plan to take that whole week off and just do nothing productive whatsoever.
That's the week after.
Okay.
Your birthday is the week after the next.
Perfect, because that's the gift I'm giving myself, the gift of nothing.
That's great.
It sounds like heaven.
Well, that's your question there answered, Deborah. The 23rd.
There we go.
Careful, Gary's right here between us.
Oh, yes, Gary. Gary, you want to say bye?
Okay,
bye,
now I
Gary.
want spam since Wendy.
Aw,
Spam, baked beans, sausage, and spam.
all right, bye, everybody.
Bye, and love you too, Terry Sue. Thanks, folks, and see you in a couple of weeks.